people? What's up? Good afternoon. On this wonderful Wednesday, we are back. Welcome back to the No Duck Zone podcast. And if it's your first time, welcome anyway. I hope everybody has enjoyed their Wednesday and everybody has arrived to where they were going safe. And if you're still traveling, please still get to where you're going safe. We're back once again for this boxing talk. Um, Shouts to everybody out there. If you are new to the channel, please tell somebody, family member, friend, co-worker, somebody that you just might be conversating with in the street, whoever you're talking to let them know that this is one of the best channels when it comes to not sugarcoating anything. This is one of the best to come to because over here we don't care about views. We don't care about clout chasing. We just care about putting out real content. So welcome everybody to the realest. We're going to get into this boxing talk. Danny Garcia makes his return back to the Brooklyn BARCLAYS Center. It has been a minute since we have seen Danny there. I believe Keith Thurman was his last opponent, probably after BARCLAYS. If I'm not, excuse me, no, it wasn't. Jose Benavidez was. Excuse me, apologies. But we're gonna get into that. So let's go. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everybody, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. Make sure you, ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe. Let's not be nervous because we see a cash app. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to pay this guy to sit up here and listen to him. No, you don't. You don't have to. Ignore that. It don't cost you nothing to smash the like button. It don't cost you anything to subscribe. It don't cost you anything just to sit and take a couple of minutes to listen. So, we got my man Danny Garcia coming back October 18th, Brooklyn BARCLAYS Center. I'm super happy for number one because we haven't seen any action in the BARCLAYS Center since April 20th of 2024. Okay, some of that might have went over your heads. So I'm going to say that again. There has not been no action in the BARCLAYS Center since April 20th of 2024. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. For the rest of 2024, it was quiet. For 2025, it was quiet. And now here it is. We have Danny Swift Garcia returning to the BARCLAYS Center, but not returning on PBC, not returning on a Showtime, not returning on anything but his own promotional company. How dope is this? Swift Promotions, which I've had the honor and pleasure of attending one of their events that went down June 7th of this year in Newtown, PA. I enjoyed it. It was I could give you with something. I can give you with this. Hold on, I'll give you right now. I got you, my friend. That's what I can give you with. Um, Please, when y'all come in here, say hello. Say good afternoon. If you're not gonna do that, then hey, smash the like button and go find something to do. Going to one of their promotional fights was for the first time. You know, for me, it was great. I want to give Danny his flowers, and it was his second show that he did for his promotional company. His second show, which was great. This is his third show that he is doing, and what better place than to do it? I thought it was going to be in Philly, I was hearing that, but then here it is. It's in the Barclays Center. I'm super happy about it. October 18th. Let's get into first of all, Danny, man. Magnificent fighter. To me, already in my book, is a Hall of Famer. What he has accomplished was amazing. To not have to duck no fighter, I don't care what anybody got to say. A lot of y'all go, y'all always with this. I don't want to see anybody come back. Eh, Like I said, nobody cares what y'all want to see. Y'all are nobody. Nobody cares what y'all want to see. There's a lot of things in this world I don't want to see, but guess what? Just because it's happening, that doesn't mean I have to pay attention to it. But Danny Garcia, future Hall of Famer, the level of competition he's been in the ring with, the stuff he has overcome, the challenges he has faced, um, going through mental health, just challenges. It's a lot of things that he has went through. Danny has been in the ring. He has been in the ring with some of the fighters that you guys, some of the level of competition that some of your favorite fighters won't even get in the ring with. And you guys have the audacity to talk about who you don't want to see come back. But Danny Garcia has fought the best. The level of competition he has fought, your favorite fighter won't dare get in and fight them type of fighters. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna piss a lot of y'all off. I'm gonna piss a lot of y'all off, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Now, his opponent, um, I'm gonna get into his opponent later because I don't know much about him. I just looked at the young man's name, I think earlier today. I can't even give y'all his name. I'm gonna come back and because this is not gonna be the last Danny Garcia conversation. When I come back again, then I'm gonna talk more about his opponent. Now, a lot of y'all are gonna go out your way to say, you know what, October 18th, I'm not watching that. And I'm sure it's not gonna be pay-per-view or anything. I'm sure of it that it probably won't be. But you guys are such big boxing fans. I'm not going to watch that. Y'all watch Pacquiao and Barrios and thinking that Barrios would just cruise through Pacquiao, and you see what happened. So we shouldn't be so quick to judge. I will be back to talk about Danny Garcia and his opponent. Give me a couple of weeks. I'm probably going to wait till fight week, just like I told you, Michaela Mayer, just like her opponent. I'm going to come back to talk about her and her opponent. I'll be back, so look for that. Just as well as Gabriel Fedora. I'll be back for that. But when I look at all the names, the Hall of Fame names, and the people that Danny Garcia has fought, and I look at the people that he has lost to, all future Hall of Famers, if Hall of Famers already. Despite of what Danny's last fight looked like, if you really look at the people that Danny has lost to, from a Keith Thurman, Hall of Famer, no matter what you feel about him. Sean Porter, a Hall of Famer. Even though Sean, people feel how they feel, Hall of Famer. Earl Spence, without a shadow of a doubt, no matter how he looked in his last fight, Hall of Famer, and he's going to come back. Then we got Laura, who was Danny's last opponent, Hall of Famer. CJ Rich, what's up? So ain't no way in hell y'all going to try to convince me or tell me that Danny Garcia lost to bums. No, sir. None of those gentlemen that I just mentioned are nowhere near bums. Because all four of those fighters that I mentioned fight better than any of your favorite fighters today? Any of them. Name them. Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Earl Spence, Laura. Fight better than any of your favorite fighters today. See, we tend to we tend to get stuff misconstrued when it comes to these boxing conversations because we think we know what we're talking about and we don't know shit because there's always more for you to learn in the sport of boxing, but nobody wants to take the time to do that because we all want to assume we are know and we don't know nothing, not a damn thing about how to run our mouths. Oh, McLean, you're just saying that because you're a Danny Garcia fan and you went to his last promotional company, his last promotional fight. Of course, you're just going to say anything to make it sound right. No, I'm here to speak truth, rather if I've been to a fighter's fight or not. I mean, my first Danny Garcia fight was him and Paulie Manginelli, and then I was at the Sean Porter and Danny Garcia fight. That was actually one of the first fights me and my wife went to together. Matter of fact, that was the first fight I took my wife to. But that's not the reason why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. And see, everybody's leaving because they don't want to hear it. Yeah, y'all never want to hear the truth. You're scared of the truth. You scared. I need to go to a channel where either they're talking about my favorite fighter, or I need to go to a channel where they're sugarcoating things. Not over here, suckers. Sorry. This is no Doug zone. Not no choke zone. We don't do that over here. But the level of Danny Garcia's competition in the fights he's been in is impeccable. And this is a man that don't even have to come back and fight for money, coming back to fight because he want to. Because the first thing y'all will run with, you geniuses that think you know boxing, the first thing that you geniuses will run with is, he must be broke. Why would he be coming back? This man got businesses. He has a barbershop, a clothing line. No, this is why I say y'all don't know shit. Y'all are quick to assume. Bro, McLean, we don't care. This is a bullshit fight, and nobody wants to see Danny Garcia return. Okay, nobody wants to see that bullshit fight for November 14th. That's a bullshit fight. How about that? For all of y'all that keep talking about it like it's the shit. Now, you might not be familiar with Danny Garcia's opponent, but at least we know it's a fight. Hmm? Smash my like button. If you know what, if y'all know what the smash button looks like, smash it. And so now y'all go, well, if Danny Garcia wins October 18th, McLean, what do you expect to see from him? I can't tell you what I expect. I don't expect nothing. I don't expect nothing. I don't even expect him to win October 18th because I don't know. Well, how could you not expect him to win October 18th? Look at his opponent. I don't know shit about that man to judge him. I know nothing. I know nothing. And just because y'all are not familiar with his opponent, don't think that Danny Garcia is supposed to win just because y'all don't know who his opponent is. That's not how it works in boxing. And that's what y'all live off. Because you don't know somebody, then the other guy that you're familiar with is supposed to win. That's not how that works. Doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's going to happen October 18th because I'm not paying attention to that. I am just glad to see Danny back in there because I kind of miss old Danny, man. I was just watching some of his fights today. The fights with Brandon Rios. It was another Spanish guy that I felt like Danny was gave Danny a run for his money. But I was watching it, and I'm gonna go back to watching some of Danny fights because I was just watching some of Danny fights a couple days ago because I was thinking about him, having a fight at the Barclay, and I'm a big Danny fan. But also, I'm a big fan of guys who's not ducking from smoke. See, you got guys that talk about one fighter and they deride them all day, every day. Rather, if they being paid to talk about them, or they know them personally, or they just have some obsessed with them. I don't have no obsessed with no grown man or anybody. That's crazy. So a lot of things you hear me say is going to come from the heart, because that's the only way I know how to do this content creator shit. Smash my like button. Get these likes up. Let's get these likes up. I don't understand why y'all don't like hearing truth. Y'all want somebody to sugarcoat something. Y'all want somebody to talk about your favorite fighters all damn day. If it ain't Tank, if it ain't Canelo, if it ain't one of those, y'all feel some kind of way. Y'all want to leave. This ain't the channel for that. Don't y'all get sick of that? Ain't there enough channels that talk about the same damn thing every day? Y'all don't get sick of that shit? Y'all don't get sick of going to the same channels, hearing the same thing every day? Wouldn't y'all have the common sense of saying, let me go somewhere where they're talking about something different? It is no Doug Zone dude is a little different because he wants to get away from certain topics, not ducking, not avoiding, but just trying something else. Y'all don't think to do that? That lets me know something's wrong with y'all mental and you're too damn comfortable with the content you get today. You have been brainwashed. You can't tell me. Bro, McLean, nobody's interested in Danny Garcia. Nobody's talking about him. I don't give a shit what y'all talking about. I don't care. I'm not here for y'all comfortability. That's right. Two of y'all dropped off. Bye-bye. Bye. Because this is where the nonsense stop. We're going to bring real content back on this YouTube. Real content. We're going to get it back together on here for the people who don't know what that is anymore or never knew what that was. Danny Swift Garcia returning to the Barclays Center for me is an honor and pleasure. And whatever he decides to do after October 18th, I'm okay with it. If he decides to go, hey, this was just, I mean, look at it. Look at the kind of year we had. Let's take a step back. We talked about all the guys who made a comeback, right? Check it, right? We had J. Rock Williams and Jared Hurd return. I didn't agree with it, but they returned. I probably the best one, the best one who looked good out of all of them was probably Gary Russell. Mr. Gary Russell, that is. He's probably the best one that looked when you talk about the best comeback in boxing this year. A lot of guys you thought that they were washed up and it was over for them, they're not coming back. There was even some guys that amazed me where I was like, they're not coming back. But y'all got the audacity to say, I don't want to see this. And there was how many? At least 10 guys who made a comeback this year? Are you kidding me? You can't be. There's been a busload of guys this year who just made a comeback. One fight and some got out. They made them a quick payday. They went on about their business. And while you screaming and hollering and catching a temper tantrum about who you don't want to see, your favorite fighter is not doing anything. Anything. So rather if Danny loses on the October 18th, or rather he wins, I'm okay with it. If he feels like he has something left in the tank and he goes, hey man, I want to get 2, 3 more fights. I want to grab another title. Hey, go ahead. He might not look that good on October 18th. I don't know what he'll look like. We haven't seen him since the Jose Benavidez. Excuse me, I keep saying Jose Benavidez. Excuse me. We haven't seen him since the Laura fight. Since the Laura fight. We don't know what he's going to look like October 18th. I don't know what his opponent is going to do. That's why I'm coming back here to talk about his opponent. You know why I won't talk about him now? Like I won't talk about Michaela Mayer's opponent, because the problem is you talk about that now and then fight week. What are we gonna do? We're gonna repeat ourselves saying the same thing. I never bothered to look at her opponent and never bothered to look up his opponent, but I'm going to do that. So when I do that, I can come back and it makes it better. See, it's easy to talk about two fighters that you know about. It's easy to talk about Canelo and Crawford. It's easy to talk about Thurman and Fedora. It's easy to talk about Ortiz and Lubin. It's easy to talk about Cool Boy Steph and who's the one Cool Boy's fighting? Jesus, I forgot his name already. But it's easy to talk about them. But when it's an opponent that you may not be familiar with, you may not be familiar with. That doesn't mean the boxing world is not familiar with them. Some people might be. So now people go, before I judge him and call him a bum, call him a scrub, Danny should beat him. This should be easy for Danny. I need to go check him out. And even with checking him out, I might still say, okay, I can't see him beating Danny, but I could see it being a fight. And that's what we don't do. And when me and my brother D Freeze up here, this is what we be trying to tell y'all. When it comes to this boxing, y'all are just going with who's popular and who you know. But hey, that's cool for the moment, but that's only going to carry you for so long. Every fight that you see, because you're not familiar with the opponent, does not give you a right to just keep going with the guy that you know. It just doesn't work like that. I'm excited to see Danny's name back out there. I'm excited to see some action back at the Barclays. Because the Barclays has been dried up, which I think tomorrow I'm going to do something. It's Throwback Thursday, but I'm going to do something about the Barclays tomorrow probably, because boxing in New York is kind of like, we got Boxing Insider that will be at Sony Hall September 19th. For anybody in the New York or New Jersey and Connecticut area, make sure you get your tickets for that. Shout out to my brother Don St. Lane, who will be on that card, who y'all know from OTX. He's fought on a lot of those cards. He's 7-0. He'll be going for 8-0 September 19th. So make sure you get your card. I mean, make sure you get your tickets. But yeah, boxing's kind of dry in New York. So as far as professional, I'm gonna probably get to that tomorrow from my New York people or my people out of town that can relate to what it is that I'm talking about. So I'm gonna be the bad guy. McClain, nobody's talking about this. Nobody gives a shit about Danny. Nobody cares about Earl. Nobody cares about this, guys. We're just gonna be Crawford and Spence. We're gonna be Crawford, Spence, or not even Spence. We're gonna be Crawford and Canelo, and we're gonna be Tank all day, and we're gonna be Tank today. We're gonna be Tank tomorrow. We're gonna be the Tank day. We're gonna be Tank the day after. We're gonna be Tank next year. We're gonna be Tank in 6 months. We're just gonna be Tank, 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 Bud, 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 Tank, 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 Tank. That shit doesn't get annoying to y'all? That doesn't get annoying. You telling me that? Well, no, it's not, brother. You got it wrong because that's what's going on in boxing. So because that's what's going on, that's what y'all have to entertain. That's what makes y'all boxing fans because we can speak about the same fighters 7 days a week. And every time they do something, we got to react to it like a bunch of eighth graders. So that's what we doing. That's how content. So you know what? Maybe I need to stop and start jumping on the bandwagon of Tank, Canelo, Crawford. And then let's see how that works for me when on my thumbnail I put that up and see how it works for me. Hell, maybe I'll get some new subscribers. Hell, maybe my views will go up. Hell, maybe somebody hit the cash app. But for me, it's not about any of that. I can give two Chinese flying about any of that. Remember, I told you I'm about giving fighters their flowers. Now, I could easily say Danny Garcia for tomorrow. I could easily say that. But I really didn't know what I wanted to get into about the day. So when I saw that Danny was returning, I said, you know what? This is perfect. This is perfect. I mean, what's a better time to talk about him than now after hearing this announcement for October 18th? And the credentials is out, y'all. Anybody who's interested in attending this Danny Garcia fight, only people that are interested, not you people who are going to down him or down his promotion or down his opponent, but the credentials are out. Don't ask me for them. They're out there. Go look them up. Swift's promotions, they're out there. I'm not sending no credentials. It's out there. Y'all can go apply for them just like anybody else. No duck zone. Take cares. No duck zone. So, just saying. But I'm excited about October 18th. About another, and just to let y'all know, being that the fight is the 18th, by October 10th, they're gonna get back to everybody in the credentials. Just in case somebody never did it before and you don't know, by October 10th, they'll get back to y'all. So probably um, maybe towards the end of the month of September or maybe October, I'll be back to talk about Danny and his opponent. I know it's gonna come. People are gonna ask me, and I'm not gonna be able to avoid it. But I'm not gonna get into deep conversations because the problem with y'all is we don't never focus on fights that's coming up at the time. We'll talk about a fight that is not going on for like 2 months. Big Tex, what up? Just like this whole Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney. I'm not talking about Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney until November. I don't care nothing about how many of y'all are talking about it now. I could give a shit. I'm not going to do that now because if I do it now in this September, what the hell are we talking about in November? This is what kills me with y'all. I'm not knocking y'all for what y'all do, but if I talk about that now, what do I have left to talk about in November? Crawford and Canelo was talked about for 2-3 months straight. What are y'all really going to be talking about? Because the fight is next week, if I'm not mistaken. So what are we going to do? What could you say different next week that y'all haven't been saying for probably the last 3-4 months? Tell me. Oh, when I go to bed, I wake up, I have a whole new mindset. I'm going to be able to tell you something that I didn't tell you 2 months ago. Let's be real. When we having these conversations, let's just be real. What the hell can we possibly say that we haven't said already? Don't worry, y'all. I'll wait. I'm not in no rush, and everybody don't speak at one time. Now, y'all gonna tell me it's just conversations, but we are getting into arguments and debates and disagreements. For what? For what? Doesn't make any sense, right? So if a fight is 2, 3 months from now, and we done spoke about it 100 times, what do we really have to talk about, or what can we really say the week of that fight? Can't say nothing, right? You can't say nothing. How many times are you going to keep changing up on how you feel about a fight coming up? Yeah, I know I said this about a month ago, but this is what it is today. Oh, I know I said this. I know I said that day, but it's fight week and I'm changing my mind. And this is how he's going to win or this is how he's going to lose. What are we talking about? So when I bring up certain fighters, whether it's Michaela Mayer, Danny Garcia, somebody that you have no interest in, that's cool. That's your business. Don't be over here. Take your ass to another channel. But over here, we give fighters respect and we give them their flowers. And we don't sit over here on the Duck Zone and talk about the same damn fighters, the same 5 fighters, the same one fighter, because this one fighter didn't make boxing. Everybody has opened the door for somebody in this sport. And those are the people that I will make sure get their flowers. You can't tell me that being monetized and getting views is that damn important when you guys are blind, that you can't see the truth. That I'm just going to keep on with the same boxing conversations. As long as these people come in here listening to it, I'm going to keep doing it. You can't be serious. And if you are serious, it is no way in hell that makes you a fan. That makes you a groupie, a prostitute. I know y'all hate hearing that. That's disrespectful to say that. But it is what it is. I understand when some of you guys apply for your credentials and you know the people that's coming and looking at your videos, you want to say whatever and anything to make sure, hey man, I got to make sure I get my credentials. But you also got to be yourself. You won't make it in nowhere in this world if you don't be yourself. The people who's looking at you that's giving your credentials are not asking you to be something that you're not. They're just asking you to create content, but also be real with the content that you are creating. Create content and don't let the content create you. Okay, I'm gonna say that again because I probably went over some of your heads. Create the content and don't let the content create you. Never be shy to step out your comfort zone or do something that nobody else is not doing. If there's a fighter that you want to talk about, rather if he's a throwback fighter from 30 years ago or 50 years ago, don't be afraid to do it. Because you got to worry about somebody looking at you like, why are we talking about him today? And why are we not talking about Jake Paul versus Tank? Man, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? Never be ashamed to talk about what it is that you want to talk about when it comes to this boxing. If there's anybody else out there that want to talk about this Danny Garcia or whatever other fight, stop worrying about if you're going to get views or not. Likes, subscribers. You may not get as much as you want, but as long as somebody's paying attention to you, that's all that matters. Rather if it's 5 views, might be 3 views. You could look up and have 1 view. 1 view can go to 20 views, and 20 views can go to 50. I'm glad to see Danny Swift Garcia coming back. And all this I'm saying right now is not for me to give credentials. This is the truth. Some things we say things to butter, we say things to put ourselves in a position to make ourselves look good. Because a lot of y'all, I'm not going to lie, a lot of y'all are a bunch of kiss asses. I see a lot of y'all. Y'all try to act like, yeah, this is me and I'm doing it for my platform. But a lot of y'all will sell y'all own mama to get a credential. You would do it to try to convince somebody you love this boxing. You love it because you're comfortable with who you talk about and who you only know or who you only want to know. Yeah, I know about that fighter, but who's talking about him? He's been retired for 30 years. Who cares? He's washed up. He's done. Let's go talk about this Mayweather versus Big Show on November 14th, because that's what it is. Hey, McClain, you might want to watch your mouth because one day you might have to put in credentials with those people. I already did it. It don't even matter. I could care less about it. The problem is we got to stop acting like everything we hear, we got to, it's news. It's content. So let's go speak about it. If you're going to speak about it, speak your mind and stop speaking what you think people want to hear. And y'all are never going to get that because you're too busy riding the bandwagon. You think I give a shit about any of that? No, sir. I don't care nothing about none of that. We can only keep pretending for so long. What's wrong with Danny Garcia coming back? Did I not tell you Jared Hurd came back? J. Rock Williams came back? Even though Mr. Gary Russell came back and he looked pretty damn good in his comeback, didn't Denito Denier, didn't he come back? Huh? How many guys this year alone, not through boxing history, but just this year alone came back? Yeah, nobody probably wanted to talk about J. Rock Williams and Jerry Hurd, but we talked about it. See, a lot of y'all let me know if y'all were working in the fighter's corner or part of the team, you know what y'all are? Y'all will stick with the fighters when they hot. And as soon as they're not nothing no more to y'all, y'all will leave them. That's who y'all are. Y'all the type of people that will leave a fighter in the dressing room with a towel on his head, sitting there, and the people that he thought was there for him, that supported him, that loved him, they only loved him because he was winning. That's what y'all let me know when I look at this boxing, when I look at some of this content. Sure, you love them when they're winning. Y'all just like some of these fighters, that these people that they walk around with. Because when it's over, y'all are out. When you can't get nothing out of them no more, you're gone. That's what y'all are. Y'all not fans of the fighters. You're fans of popularity. And what do I always say? Popularity versus the truth. Smash my like button, y'all. And if you don't, God bless you anyway. That's cool. I told you, I know Doug Zone is not here for your comfortability. I will never be here for your comfortability. And I'm not going to say anything where all of a sudden now you like me because I'm selling my soul. I sell merch. I don't sell my soul. So if anything I'm saying is not enough for you to smash the like button, I don't know what to tell you. God bless you. Find the channel. There's plenty of them on right now. I'm sure I'm not the only one on right now. But you better believe that this is the content that I'm going to constantly bring. Every day I'm going to constantly bring this type of content to not impress anybody. Because to let you know, in order for you to make it on here, you're going to have a mind of your own. You're going to have a mind of your own. I don't see anything wrong with that. What about y'all? Come on now, everybody don't get quiet now. Come on now, everybody don't speak at one time. What about y'all? Is there ever a fight or a subject y'all want to have and you feel like you have to shy away from it because of what people want to hear? Or you guys are just chasing content? Because if you out there chasing content when you supposed to create it, that's a problem. How in the hell are we out here chasing content when our asses are supposed to be creating content? And this is why the love of professional boxing kind of disturbs me. And I switch over to amateur boxing because, being with those kids and those fighters are so much worth it because they're the next up. I mean, if Swift Promotions, if you guys are looking for any scouts to go look at some young amateurs, talented amateurs, I'm just saying you might want to look my way. You just might want to look my way. I'm just saying. Nobody does it better. McLean, I don't even understand why you keep going off. You be doing good, and then you go off, and you start talking about whatever. No, I don't. I talk about everything that has everything to do with what I'm talking about. But then the reality of trying to get you to open up your eyes to see that your content is your content, and whatever fighter you want to talk about, old, young, dead, or alive, should never be a problem. The problem is you're only talking to boxing fans of today. You're not talking to boxing fans from back then. A lot of these guys are boxing fans of today, but they want to try to convince you that they've been watching boxing long enough to keep up with you in the conversation. Now, how is that? How is that? Popularity versus the truth is what I always say. Sooner or later, one of those are going to catch up to you before you know it, or the truth will catch up to you. Because how we behave when it comes to the sport of boxing is not to be blamed. I don't care if we're not getting the fights we think we should see, um, or we're not getting the fights, or we're not getting the decisions. Some of us are responsible for how we act and how we respond to it or what we say. If we can just get a grip and not get so caught up in this boxing shit, we will be okay. Of course, it's our passion. We're passionate about it. That's a fact. I'm super passionate about it. But I also won't let boxing be the death of me, and I damn sure won't be out here crashing out. I refuse to. That's not part of the plan to be out crashing out because you can't control your emotions. It's not how it works. I'm not gonna ask you guys what's the solution. That was the word of the day the other day. I'm just gonna tell you this. If you can't lead your brand, if you can't lead your channel, if you can't lead your podcast into victory without you having to follow somebody because you rather keep up with the Joneses and says, no, I wanna do what they're doing, and you can't stand on your own, then I'm definitely looking at you different. You think I don't mind standing out in this YouTube alone. I don't mind standing out in the cold alone. I don't mind. Yeah, I got the people that I deal with and people that's cool with me and I love them and they love me, I'm sure. I will hope if I'm giving them the same respect back. But I know I'm gonna have to stand out here alone in these YouTube streets, alone in the cold. Because people are gonna say that dude just be talking about anything because y'all so blind by being monetized, and I have to say this because if I say this, this is how I get my credentials. If I do this, this is how these people will recognize me. And it's cool. We all do what we gotta do. But when do we start facing the truth versus hiding from it? I thought when you have a radio station, right, and you're on the radio, or you do what we do, because it's almost damn near the same thing, that you speak your piece and speak what's on your mind. And if it ruffled people's feathers, then obviously it applied to them. What happened to that? I'm just asking a question. Maybe somebody can help me out, or maybe they can't. Hey, McLean, we ain't got an answer for you. But all this stuff that you're talking about that's going on is not going to stop, McLean, because you feel some kind of way. Man, listen. I ain't feeling no kind of way about nothing. If there's anybody who should be feeling some kind of way, it should be y'all. Because I'm already doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. No complaints over here. And I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm satisfied with what I'm doing. And I'm consistent on what I'm doing. Not just being up here live, but in the conversations. And I will continue to be that. I will continue to bring you the morning chop up. I will continue to bring you some more boxing talk in the afternoon. I will continue to put these amateurs out and making sure you know who they are. I will continue to go to these amateur shows. Everything is going to continue to be consistent. So I asked, what's the problem? We got Danny Garcia coming back October 18th. Out of all that, what's the problem? Hmm? Y'all gonna watch November 14th? Y'all. I'm not gonna ask what's the problem. I know what it is, but it's cool, right? So it's no way y'all can support that, but then have a problem with anybody else. Y'all can't be that much of a fan of these fighters that won't probably even stop to take a picture of you, let alone give you an interview. Let alone can't even make it to a press conference in time. It don't even apologize for coming in late. Are you kidding me? I don't get it. Smash that like button, y'all. Come on, that one person that's watching, share this. Unless you eavesdropping, share it. Because I told y'all before, I love boxing a little different than y'all do. Y'all love it when it's going y'all way, and the minute that it's not, everybody got a complaint. Everybody has a complaint. The truth hurts. I know it does, and I understand. I understand, y'all. I understand. It kind of pisses y'all off, and damn, why does he have to be so right? But it is what it is. So anytime when there's it's an official fight coming up or somebody returning, I am going to give that fighter their flowers, give them their respect, give them their just due. And I'll continue to always do that because we wouldn't have no boxing today if it wasn't for some of the guys that we salute. And they wouldn't have no career if somebody didn't open the door for them. Everybody, I told you that before, everybody has opened the door for somebody at some point. Don't act like your favorite fighter just walked into here. And no, just like when your favorite fighters sit down, there's some fighters right now that's coming in behind them. What y'all gonna do then? When it's a whole new class of fighters. Well, these fighters ain't nothing like my favorite fighter. Your favorite fighter wasn't even nothing like what he should have been. What's up? What's up? What's up? Are you kidding me? Salute, salute. What world are y'all living in, man? Y'all are not boxing fans, and I wish y'all would stop going out your way to always try to make it known, because you're not. And it's okay to admit something that you're not. Go ahead and say, I'm not a boxing fan. Or I'm only a fan of the guys I see today. I don't really know nothing about nobody else, but I'm only a fan of them today. And at some point, I'm going to do my homework on the fighters who came before the ones today. Or you know what y'all do? Point blank disrespectful. We don't give a damn about them old timers. Retired already. Who cares? They got brain damage. They got a GoFundMe page. They doing all these charity events. That's how y'all feel when it comes to our legends. So if your fighter is not brain damaged and nothing's wrong with it, it's not because shit he was Mr. Untouchable. It's because he played it safe. And I don't mind fighters looking out for their career, but y'all ain't about to act like your fighter today is doing something. The only thing they're doing is making sure they make the safest bag that they can so they can make it home to their family and be able to provide for them and always be there for him. I can understand that. I ain't knocking that. A lot of y'all can't understand that. I can understand that. But some of y'all are still getting ready to jump out the window for this fighter, defend them, put other fighters down as if your fighter is out here doing something. No, he's not. Danny is exactly what he is, a Hall of Famer. And anybody who thinks that Danny's overrated, that's their opinion. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. Doesn't even matter if he's overrated or not. He's coming back. He's coming back the 18th of October. There's a lot of people that's overrated out there. A lot. Boxers, rappers. baseball players, basketball players, movie stars, comedians. But does that stop them from being successful? Being overrated is not going to stop you being successful. So that word overrated doesn't mean nothing to me anymore because it doesn't stop their success. It doesn't block their blessings. It's just a word. It's just a word. It's just a word. We use overrated so much as if, that stops somebody's blessings or it stops them from being successful. It doesn't stop it. So rather somebody's overrated or not, their success is going to continue. Rather if we like it or not. Danny's coming back to boxing. Is he coming back for good? And this is what y'all get twisted. Oh, well, who would he fight after October 18th? Well, we don't know if he's fighting after October 18th. We don't know if we see Danny again in 2026. Only thing we know is that he's returning next month on the 18th, and that's it. He's coming back just like everybody else. Rather if they stayed or they left. Jarrett Hurd, J. Rock Williams came back the same. Believe they was on the same card. Keith Thurman came back. Danilo Denier came back. Pacquiao came back. Mr. Gary Russell, who looked pretty damn impressive out of everybody that came back. A lot of people are coming back. And a lot more people that we might not think should be here is going to come back. Spencer will probably come back. Jamel will probably come back. Y'all pick and choose who y'all want to see come back. As soon as somebody looks horrible in one or two fights, we don't want them back. Earl Spence had one bad fight. You fools are out here acting like he had 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 goddamn fights. So now you don't want to see him. Sometimes y'all out with the old, be out before the person even get a chance to be old. Oh, well, he looked bad in that one fight. Get him out of here. Well, that's his 3rd fight he looked bad in. Get him out of here. Y'all don't give no fighters no respect. You don't give them their flowers. Y'all don't give a shit. Y'all only care about what's popular. And it's not really old school boxing fans. I don't know. I can't say that. I don't know nothing about his opponent. I was just mentioning that before you popped up. I can't say he could beat his opponent. We're not in no prediction to say what any fighter can do because we don't know nothing about his opponent. We don't know how Danny will look. I'm going to come back to talk about his opponent and Danny again because I didn't know much about his opponent. I just seen his opponent on the flyer today on Instagram, so I didn't get to look his opponent up. I didn't get to do no research on him. I will admit as a content creator, sometimes it may not be a good look, but I'd rather admit that a lot of times I don't go do research on the other fighter if I'm not familiar with him. Sometimes I wait too late, but I will be going back sometime tonight to do that. Tonight I will probably be going to look up at him, but I can't say who will be who. I really can't. It's difficult. If you be in a lot of these channels like I do, you be in a lot of different channels like I do, and you hear a lot of these idiots, these dumbass trolls, or these channels, these hosts that let these idiots up that don't have a clue what they talk about argue and say what another fighter should be able to do to another fighter when we never see what that other fighter can do. We don't know how great that fighter could be. So this is the nonsense that we deal with when we let these idiots come up on the channel and not even voice their opinion. We can't even call it an opinion. And they don't have a clue what they're talking about. They're just up there running their fucking mouth, and we're up there participating in it. We're up there actually listening to them. We're actually up there debating with a bunch of fools we shouldn't even be debating with. People that can't even hold our liquor at a fight if we was going to the bathroom. Because they will probably drink it knowing that they ain't drinkers. The problem is we got to stop inviting everybody to the bar knowing damn well they're not a drinker. I don't know if that made sense to y'all, but I'm gonna let that go over y'all head. I'll let y'all catch on to that later. Danny Garcia coming back, I got no problem with it. Is his opponent a good opponent or a bad opponent? I got nothing to do with that either. But what's the point of him coming back? Well, what's the point of you being a boxing fan knowing that you're not? That man been boxing longer than you've been a fan. Some of y'all just walked into boxing in freaking COVID. And it's 2025, and you trying to convince somebody for the last 5 years you've watched boxing more than anybody. Some of y'all jumped on the bandwagon during COVID and after COVID, and you out here trying to convince somebody. No, why would it be Devin Haney? You don't watch college. Come on now. You don't watch boxing? Why the hell would it be Devin Haney? Devin Haney's fighting Brian Norman. Come on now. You know better than that. Don't ask silly questions like that. You know damn well Danny Garcia opponent wouldn't be Devin Haney. You be in these channels enough, man. Come on, don't do that. You sounding like a troll now. You know damn well that his next opponent is not no damn Devin Haney. You know Devin Haney and Brian Norman fight November 22nd. Come on. Stop that. I'm not going to even let you get away with that. You be in these channels enough now. If you're going to ask questions like that, then maybe you need to sit back and study boxing before participating in the conversations. You know damn well it's no Devin Haney versus no Danny Garcia. Come on now. I'm disappointed in you that you even asked that. I would expect somebody who don't be on channels, that don't know nothing about today, to ask that. You know that it ain't no Danny Garcia versus no Devin Haney. And you've been in a lot of chats where they talked about Devin Haney versus Brian Norman. Come on now, bro. I don't know if you were trying to catch me in something, but I do this for real. Come on now. That's disappointing that you even asked that. And I'm glad nobody was in here to see this because they would have ate you up in the comments. Come on, bro. Don't do that. Don't sound like a troll. I gave you a wrench. Don't do that. That's troll talk. Now, you might be saying I just asked a question. It'll be okay for you to ask that if you were new here. If you were new here, but you're not new here, colleague. Come on, don't do that. You know better than that. Let's not be a troll because we don't accept trolls over here. We block them. There's nothing out there. No, sir. Come on now. Devin Haney and Danny Garcia are not even in the same weight class. Devin is 47. Garcia, I believe, is coming back at 60 at this. I got to check. It's either 54 or 60. It wouldn't be any higher than that. It wouldn't be any lower than that. But him and no, absolutely not. Smash that like button, y'all. But I will be back, y'all. Of course, I always said for more of this Danny Garcia talk. But congratulations on Danny Swift Garcia even landing a show at the Barclays Center. I hope he can come back more because maybe he will be the lifesaver of the Barclays Center because right now the Barclays Center is looking bad. Yeah, no, yeah, come on. But that's something you shouldn't have to apologize for because you know better than that. You be in these YouTube channels. You be on enough channels to know that Devin Haney and no Danny Garcia was fighting, bro. I don't know if you were trying to catch me off guard, but I'm not one of these dumbass channels that you can do that to. You know that. You be in these channels just as much as I do. You have never seen a flyer with no Danny Garcia versus no Devin Haney. Don't go nowhere else doing that because if you go to BFTB or Drew Titan, Blue Blood, or any of these other channels, they're going to eat you alive. And I don't want them to do that to you. You seem to be cool, but you're going to have some knowledge when it comes to boxing. Tay, what's going on? I'm trying to save you. You be in enough channels now. You know better than that. You shouldn't have to say my bad because that's a mistake you shouldn't have made in the first place. You know damn well there's no Devin Haney versus Danny Garcia talks. You know that. If you would have just came today, that question probably would have been acceptable and I would have answered it. And I would have said, no, bro, they're not in the same class. If you don't know who Danny is or Devin Haney is, go look them up. But come on, bro, don't do that because I'm nice. The next channel, they might eat you up. Yeah, it's okay, Tay. Yeah. The next, I'm trying to save you because the next channel, they're not going to be polite with you, and if you in the comments, people will go crazy. You cool, so I'm just letting you know. I'm not here to jump on you. I'm not here to jump on you. I'm not trying to embarrass you or nothing like that. Trust me, I'm not one of those people that'll do that. I'm a very humble person, but sometimes we got to be more knowledgeable when it comes to the sport of boxing. See, I expect a troll to answer that, to ask that question because they don't know. But some people will ask you stuff trying to throw you off as if you don't know anything. And believe me, I don't know everything about this sport, but I know enough to hold the conversation. But it's okay, bro. Just don't go in no other chats doing that. Devin Haney is fighting Brian November 22nd. Danny Garcia is fighting who he's fighting? Two different people, two different weight classes. Tay, what's up? And that right there, folks, is how you explain to somebody. Because you know, people in the chat want to be disrespectful. The host might want to be disrespectful. That's how you explain something to somebody without cursing them out, calling them out their name. Some of y'all will do it. But I don't want to run people off where they thinking they can't say stuff on the channel, but you got to correct people. But you know, this is a channel where respectful people are welcome. When you want to know something, or y'all can help me out because there might be some things I don't know. Some things my sister Tay Tay and D Free and my brother Thomas and there's other people that can help me out with stuff that I don't know. Don't think Mr. McLean knows everything because I damn sure don't know everything. I don't know shit. I do, but I don't know it like that. I just know enough to hold the conversation. I appreciate you giving me my flowers, but I don't know it like I don't know everything I need to know because when you think you know everything, you don't. And I have a lot more things to learn in this sport. I appreciate you, Holly. I appreciate you, but there's a lot more for me to learn. I just know enough where I can hold up a conversation. And my thing is you'll never catch me in debating. And shout out to the debaters. But long as I know what I know and what I need to know about boxing, I never put myself in the debating situation because I don't have to. Because there's nothing that these fighters are doing for me that I have to debate, that I have to fight for their name, that I gotta go all out. I gotta curse people out on the live. Like I'm not gonna do all that just to prove that I'm knowledgeable in boxing. Makes no sense. I'm too busy out here trying to make sure these amateur boxers are not just known in their city, but known in the world. So that's why I say I let a lot of y'all have these professional boxing conversations. Is why y'all doing that? I'm too busy trying to go for the next top fighters and just making sure people in the world know who they are. But shout outs to Danny Garcia for storming back to the Barclays Center. You know, bringing some of that, bringing some of that Philly action back to Brooklyn. We need it. If he's going to be the lifesaver for the end of this year, then thank you, Danny, thank you, Swift Promotions, for coming back. Looking forward to seeing you guys October 18th with the media section. You know, with the media people as press conference and weigh-ins. Hope I'm there for any of those. We're gonna wait to see on October 10th what happens. Anybody's interested in applying for the fight for October 18th, um, the credentials are out. Apply for them, y'all. Do it now because you know October will be here before you know it. We will be back to talk about throwback boxing tomorrow. I believe I said I want to talk about Chris Bird and David Tua. We're gonna keep it at that, and we're probably going to come back to speak about why has boxing been so low, and so dismissed from the Barclays Center. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that, colleague. I really appreciate you for that, and I'm not saying that to be funny. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate every single last one of y'all that come up here, because y'all don't have to come here. So for y'all to take y'all time to come rock with me, I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all. You know, when I say stuff, I say it from passion, but I'm true about it. I'm just not the guy who's gonna say stuff for likes and clicks and views, and ain't nobody paying no Doug Zone to say nothing, because no Doug Zone's not for sale, and I never will be for sale. I'll sell you merch, but I ain't gonna sell my soul. We will continue this Danny Garcia conversation in a few weeks. We got some other things coming up, and we gonna get to that. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Catch y'all tomorrow. I'll put the thumbnail up about what it is we talking about. Y'all make sure y'all join us for throwback boxing, because it is gonna be throwback. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all Wednesday. Y'all know what it is. It's the No Doubt Zone podcast. Let's go.